Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff has a big decision to make. In Hungary, he confirmed he has to choose between Valtteri Bottas and Esteban Ocon as Lewis Hamilton's Formula One teammate for 2020, so he has some serious thinking to do during Formula One's August break. But we can understand what he's going through by analysing each driver's strengths and weaknesses and considering what the decision might mean for the team's future. While Bottas' season has gone off the rails in the last two races, his qualifying performances remain strong. On average, he is just 0.078 seconds behind Hamilton this season. No mean feat, considering he's up against statistically the greatest qualifier in Formula One history. Ocon has always been a quick driver, but did struggle in his first 12 months in Formula One compared to teammates Pascal Wehrlein at Manor and Sergio Perez at Force India. But once he started visiting circuits for a second time, he established a small and growing advantage over Perez in the next 18 months. He also showed he could turn in a special lap in the tight midfield battle, for example, outpacing faster cars at Monaco in 2018 by qualifying 6th. And here's why Bottas is the winner on raw pace. He has the advantage thanks to his proven record compared to Hamilton on Saturdays, outqualifying him 1/3 of the time. Ocon is potentially as quick, if not quicker, but has not had the chance to prove that at such a high level. Tyre management has long been a problem for Bottas in race stints, playing a big part in his slump to 5th in the championship in the second half of 2018. He is working on it, but this weakness has cropped up this year in several races, including Bahrain, Spain and Britain. And given his style, he might never be able to match Hamilton's excellence in this area. Ocon developed his race pace very effectively in his time at Force India, up against tyre manager extraordinaire Sergio Perez. There's also potentially far more chance for him to improve this to a higher level in the future, given the adaptability of his driving style and relative inexperience. So the winner on race pace is Ocon. Bottas is improving, but this weakness means that in tyre limited races, he might not be in the position Mercedes wants him to be to back up Hamilton. At 29, Bottas has 6.5 seasons in F1 under his belt and has been Hamilton's Mercedes teammate since the start of 2017. He has a strong working knowledge of Mercedes and knows all the setup tricks and tools available to him. Ocon is only 22 and has 2.5 seasons of racing in Formula One. While he's embedded with the Mercedes team in his capacity as reserve and simulator driver, and therefore has a far deeper understanding than a driver from outside Mercedes would have, he lacks that week in, week out, first-hand experience of driving the car. The winner on experience is Bottas, hands down, with more experience of racing and winning in F1, and also of the Mercedes team. Bottas' racecraft is not his strong suit and has been a concern stretching back to his Williams days, when there were question marks over his decision-making in first corners. In the recent Hungarian Grand Prix, Bottas' attempt to be aggressive at the start ultimately led to his race being ruined by turn 4, after a clash with Charles Leclerc that, contrary to what the live television pictures suggested, he actually caused by drifting to the right once the Ferrari had stopped moving left. He can also get bogged down in races behind slower cars that he really should pass more quickly. So while he's proved he can win from the front when things are right, this holds him back in more complicated races. Ocon has generally been effective in battle, but there have been too many pointless incidents. His clash with Max Verstappen while being lapped at Interlagos last year was unnecessary, and he was involved in too many collisions with teammate Sergio Perez at Force India. Then there was his crash at Baku in 2018, trying to battle with Kimi Raikkonen's far quicker Ferrari, costing a potential podium. But he's also shown signs of real maturity, such as when he backed out on the run to Les Combes at Spa in 2018, despite having a shot at the lead. The winner on racecraft is Ocon. While he's still improving, Bottas is unlikely ever to truly conquer this weakness. Bottas is one of the most affable and likeable drivers on the grid, not the typical single-minded world champion type. While he's pushed to increase focus on himself this year, being more forceful with setup demands, he doesn't have the very valuable mean streak of Mercedes' predecessor Nico Rosberg. He's determined to be world champion, no question, but he might not have the typical mentality required to do so. Ocon is hugely ambitious, and while also a likeable character off track, does have that ruthless streak on it. He showed that at Force India, where he knew he needed to assert himself over Sergio Perez. The winner on ruthlessness is a draw, because if you're looking for a world champion, it's Ocon. But if you're looking for a driver to ensure team harmony against Hamilton, it's Bottas. Bottas is a well-liked and effective member of the Mercedes team. Hamilton described their alliance as the greatest partnership in terms of respect and teamwork that I'm sure has ever existed in F1. When you've got a star driver like Hamilton, a teammate that keeps him happy is a real positive. Ocon's contribution to the team this year as simulator driver is valued within Mercedes and proves he works well technically. This was also a strength at Force India, and there's every chance he will still improve significantly given the opportunity of a Mercedes race seat. But the ruthless streak we mentioned means, like Charles Leclerc at Ferrari, he would go into the season determined to assert himself over Hamilton, which risks destabilising the team. Winner: Bottas. Or at least, it's Bottas for as long as Hamilton is there. For 2020, Mercedes is looking for a teammate for Lewis Hamilton and ideally wants a support act. But Hamilton isn't under contract beyond that, and while it's more likely than not he will continue, Mercedes is aware of the risk of him either walking away or moving to a rival team. That makes Bottas ideal for 2020. But Ocon offers greater ultimate potential. The team wouldn't be certain Bottas could win the title in a post-Hamilton Mercedes, but Ocon, already with a year's experience there under his belt, just might be, perhaps making him more appealing for 2021. The winner for long-term prospects is Ocon if Mercedes wants someone to grow and potentially win world titles, but it's Bottas if they are looking for a strong wingman for Hamilton. So who will Mercedes sign? Well, it all depends how Toto Wolff balances up the team's need to get the best out of Hamilton with having an eye on the future. If he wants short-term pain, but long-term gain, Ocon is the right choice. For short-term gain, but with the advantage that 2020 would likely go much more smoothly, Bottas is the way to go. But we want to hear what you think. Should Mercedes stick with Bottas or go for Ocon? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe.